Everybody, listen. Over the last two episodes, you can go back and watch the one before this and the one before that. Robin and I have been building on something on purpose. First one, we talked about sleep. Y'all remember this? Food is the foreplay for sleep. I just kept saying that. And sleep is where your body actually repairs itself. Then we talked about the food pyramid. Yes, that's we did. And has it really improved? But it didn't fix the problem. They have some improvements, but the way that we put it on the show, you're just driving slower to that destination. All right. That means the carbs are still on there. The sugars are still on there, which still means, as Robin shared last week, the diabetes, the inflammation, prescriptions are still there. They did not turn loose all their money. Okay. So
No, that's
today we got to go even deeper because if sleep is so important, the real question is, how did sleep end up last on our priority? This, yeah, look, let me scoot in. Y'all, you really want this one, okay? At some point, we lost our natural rhythm. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about when did it happen, why did it happen, and who the system actually serves. So welcome everybody. My name is G Brown, the lifestyle changer, and I am a certified nutritionist. In I was trained in the American Standard Diet, which I do not recommend. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Robin and I come live to you and have real conversations about food, sleep, movement, what actually works, what it takes to live your best life, how to become medication free, your hormones. We cover it. Okay? So, this is so important because we want you to live your best life, especially as we get older. So, Robin, before the alarm clocks, the schedules, how did humans actually live and sleep?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Hey, Sister Girl. We're so glad that you are here. Let us know where you are watching from down in the chat. My name is Robin Heron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. I'm also nutrition certified, but guess what? In the standard American diet, which I also do not recommend. I'm also a health coach, and I'm here to help you understand your body and fuel it in a way that actually makes sense. So, how did people sleep before? Before clocks, people lived by sunlight. You woke up with the sun, you slowed down as it set. Time wasn't counted in minutes and hours, but it was seasons, daylight, and what do we need? What do we need to do? Right? And that was a biological thing. It wasn't poetic. It didn't have any, kind of thing to it. It was a biological thing. So inside your brain is a structure. I'm going to say the name of this structure. I'm going to try to say it one time. And then I'm not going to say it again, okay? Inside your brain is a structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Yes, I'm only going to say that once. It's a long term, so here's what it really means. It is your body's master clock. So this SCN, it sits inside the hypothalamus directly above where your optic nerves cross. Now think about that, where your optic nerves, right? The location does matter because the SCN receives direct input from your eyes, not from your habits, not from your willpower, not from what time you want to go to bed, but from the light, the daylight. So morning light tells the SCN it's time to be alert. Cortisol rises appropriately, your body temperature increases, and your digestion and movement start to ramp up. As the light fades and darkness increases, the SCN sends a different message. It's time to repair. It's time to repair, okay? Melatonin is released. I was thinking about this melatonin problem. How many of y'all are taking melatonin for sleep? Woo, watch out now. If you're taking melatonin for sleep, what do you think your body is not doing for sleep? right? So, melatonin is a natural substance that's created by the body, and you need to let your body do its thing, right? Inflammation is reduced, and cells shift from action to recovery. So, back in the day, before clocks, sleep wasn't scheduled, it was signaled by the light. So, the sundial was used far back as ancient Egypt, not to control the people, but to observe the day. They didn't tell you when to work, but they told you where the sun was. So, we didn't have any alarms waking people up mid repair while the body's trying to repair itself. We didn't have the artificial light telling the brain that it was noon at midnight or 3 a.m. So let's think of this like a garden, like gardening. We don't tell the sun when to rise. We plant and harvest when the light is right. And the body worked the same way. It responded to its environment, not a schedule. So, G, can you just tell us a little bit about when did that change? When did time stop being natural and start being controlled?
Wow, that's good. So the first, I'm going to make sure I get this right. The first mechanical clocks showed up around the 1300s in Europe, right? And they weren't made for health. They were made for coordination. The church bells, work shifts, and eventually later on, you know them as factories. So once the industrial age hit, we talked about that a lot. It changed our food, and time stopped being something you experienced. It became something you owed. The clock just didn't measure time, it was monetized.
You
We
know,
can stop the show right here. Look, we can stop it right here. Good night, everybody. Because I'm telling you everything.
everything is
Everything.
monetized.
Oh
Yes.
my God. So that's when we moved from living with our bodies to living an obligation. That's how short and simple it is. So guess what? How did that affect our sleep specifically? Robin, how did that affect us?
All right. So you think about this. You go to work in a factory. Do you think that factory cares about your circadian rhythm? It does not. It cares about output. So back in the day when we started working in factories, it was all about output, all about the mighty dollar and how we can make more money for your company owner, right? So the lights came on, our shifts were extended. Instead of going to bed when the dark happens, now you got all these lights, you can work it, and the shifts get extended all through the night. You got plants running 24/7, right? So what happens to your sleep? The sleep got shortened. We got gypped out of a bunch of sleep. Here's a critical point though. Our biology has not adapted to this shift in the amount of sleep that we get. We just overrode it with the clock. We just overrode it with the clock. So that SCN still expects a consistent light and dark cycle. It still expects darkness in order to initiate repair. And it still expects that predictability. But once artificial light entered the picture, the SCN began receiving mixed signals. Bright light at night tells the brain, stay alert. How many of y'all scroll on your phone before bed? I know I do, so I can't. Yeah, I can't
Mm.
say that I don't. But what is that blue light telling you? It's telling your brain you're on high alert. You're awake. It's daytime. So even if you're very, very exhausted, your brain still is on alert. So you got phones, you got TVs, you got overhead LEDs. All of those devices suppress melatonin because the SCN cannot distinguish between sunlight and artificial light. So to your brain, light is light. Do you sleep with your TV on? Your brain is working. Your brain is working. All right. So then what happens? Your cortisol stays elevated into the evening. Your blood sugar regulation becomes unstable and your deep sleep shortens. I'm going to tell y'all from personal experience, I don't get enough deep sleep. And it's because I don't get very good sleep. The deep portion of it is very low. So anybody else have that problem? It's not a discipline problem. It's conflicting instructions. First of all, put that phone away. I'm trying to put it in the drawer at least an hour before I go to bed. It probably should be several hours to get rid of that blue light. So we're sending conflicting instructions. So I was thinking about this because it's been very, very cold here. I woke up the other morning and it was like negative 23 degrees outside. Negative 23. That's crazy. I don't know if it's ever been that cold before. And so what do you think? My furnace was just running and running and running and running, like trying to keep the house warm. I'm looking at the thing. It says that I've got the temperature cranked up to 80, but inside the house, it's only 68 degrees. And I'm running that furnace 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then what do we think is going to happen? The furnace is going to burn out because it never shuts down, right? And so hopefully it's going to warm up over here in Michigan. I really hope so. So here's the thing. Fast forward to today. We got alarms. We have all these deadlines. We got the screens that we're constantly looking at, and our body never fully transitions into repair mode. We talked about repair mode on that. I think that first show where we talked about sleep, where G first said what she said.
Food is the foreplay for sleep.
Yes. And so, our body never gets an opportunity to truly, truly repair itself. That's a huge problem. So we're not just sleeping less, right? We are sleeping shallower. If you guys have some kind of a device that you wear at night, if it's an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or an Oura Ring, you can wear that and take a look at what your sleep metrics are and see that we're sleeping shallower overall. So, G, we got clocks, obligations, artificial light. What does that do to our health long term?
Well, okay, before I go into that, one of the purposes of this particular show is because, and I've shared this with you guys, last year I made a commitment. I said, I remember the last time that I started exercising, and oh my God, where would I be if I just didn't stop and just committed? So I committed 1 year that I was going to get my movement of 15,000 steps. I did that. But that taught me something. It taught me a couple of things. Number one, if I truly put my mind to it and say, and then I hold myself accountable, nobody else, I hold myself accountable. So if I looked in the mirror and I said it, that I was tired of lying to me. And so I wasn't going to lie about it. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. So then that said to me, now, honey, what can I do? Huh? Put it in the comments. Who gonna check me, boo? I can do whatever I put my mind to. And so this year, it had to do with when I look at my plate of food, I need to tell myself, how is this food that I'm eating going to benefit me? That became to be something else, because every now and then I would get an espresso martini, and I never, ever, ever eat outside of meat. I don't do it, or anything that had a mama. Okay. Because I know someone will ask about cheese, so on and so forth. We have a food segment. So hang in there. We got pictures. I'm showing you what we eat. Hang in there. So when that took place, I said, there has to be another component to this. And we have a Marco Polo group that we are like-minded women in there, encouraging, sharing information, uplifting one another, and being coached at the same time. That was one of the things that we started talking about, was restorative sleep. Because at the beginning of this year, I not only said I'm going to look at my food and say how it benefits me, that by December of this year, because I lost so much weight, I want my booty back. I'm just, there you go. And that hopefully that didn't offend nobody, because what was happening that you didn't realize, well, I didn't realize, is that I was using my leg muscle and my back muscle. I lifted wrong. For as much as you are to bend and lift with your legs, I found myself lifting still with my back. Now I know is because if you don't use your gluteus maximus, you'll lose it. The muscles will become inactive. And
Mm.
so hence the lean over, the lower back pain, things like that. So I'm educating myself even greater in this topic. So now that's what I implement. But I also know that when you try to work your muscles to build, listen, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm not trying to flex on y'all. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do, because I'm turning 62, I'm trying to, from a seated position, stand up without holding on. That is my goal. I just want to be able, because let me tell you what that's going to do. Look, scoot in. That means when I need to go to the bathroom, I ain't got to call nobody. I don't need help wiping my butt. So I want to be able to stand on my own and walk to the bathroom and come back. And then I feel that if I can stand from a chair without assistance, then I can walk to the kitchen and take care of me. I can walk to the mailbox and take care of me. Right? If you struggling right now, that you wait, you got to do this right here. Been there, been there with that rock, and then you got to hold on to that tape. Yeah. If you got to do all of that, you already behind the curve. You must make a change. You
Mm.
will not be able to lift that extra 100 pounds because your muscles are not being challenged. It's a use or lose. That's it. There's no in between. Use or lose, and then come on. Let's imagine this. Let's imagine how you're overweight. Now somebody got to lift you. They're gonna try and grip you around here. You can be like, oh, wait a minute, wait, you going too fast. Yeah. Take care of it now. I just had to add that part. Okay. This is why we were doing this series. If I'm trying to build the muscle, it must repair itself. Just because your eyes closed don't mean that you sleep. Just because the time went by, baby, half of us was unconscious. That was it. There was no repairing going on because that's when most of the work. Robin gave a beautiful illustration when she talked about road repairs on the highway. They wait for everybody to get off the highway. Then they go ahead and do their business in the potholes and all of that. It's the exact same thing with you. Your body needs for you to get out of the way so it can repair.
Yes.
But the food that you put in is the preparation for the sleep. So now you done shut your eyes. Now I got to deal with the cupcakes, the ding dongs, the Doritos, the Mountain Dew, the soda, the cake cookie pies, the rice beans. Come on, and the beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, you name it. It when is it going to repair itself? Then you wake up, you're tired, exhausted, hands inflamed. Oh, been there, done that. Oh my God, body hurt, got a headache. Now you wobble to the bathroom, huh? Then you get down on the toilet. Now you got to rock to get back up off of it. It's first thing in the morning. Come on, we have to do better. Now, that was a whole sidebar. All right, here's the part people don't like to talk about. We don't want to wake up early. We don't just want to wake up early because it's healthy. Mm-mm. We wake up early because we got to pay bills, buy some food, take care of our electricity, our water, the roof over our heads. That's why you get up early. That's it. You have obligations. We live in a society that you must pay for everything. You can't go to the gas station and get air for your tire. There's a fee. And that means sleep is the thing that you sacrifice, even though sleep is where your healing begins. I've heard people, I only run off of 4 hours of sleep. Like, oh, I sleep. Y'all, who heard this? I'm asleep all while I'm dead. I'm up, I'm getting ready to do what it is that I want to do. Huh? Who said that? So guess what other things that you do? We drink caffeine to override the exhaustion. You
Yeah.
tired, you know you need to go to sleep. You trying to get some sugar to push you through the day, energy drink, um, and then we wonder why we sick. Do you know liquids go straight into your bloodstream?
Hmm.
At least if you ate the donut, it had to process through your stomach. The diet coke, the sodas, the sweet teas, the orange juice. Oh my God, I wish they had never created that. Apple juice. But I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna do cranberry juice. That sugar goes straight to your bloodstream. And a lot of it you're doing just for that extra kick. So watch this here. That's like skipping the maintenance on your house because you too busy paying the mortgage.
Hmm.
Yeah, I need you to hear that. You're not gonna fix your house. You can't afford to take care of the leaky toilet. You can't afford to do any of that because you're so busy paying the mortgage while your whole house is falling apart. And then when you finish paying for it, what do you have? So let me ask you this, Robin. So if sleep is the foundation and we've been trained to ignore it, what's the real cost of us ignoring that?
Well, I think you just said it, is that we make ourselves sick. We literally make ourselves sick when we put our sleep last. And so many of us are doing this, right? We are doing this. I just see Victoria down here saying, I have terrible sleep. I say that all the time too, that I struggle to get good quality sleep, but we really need to focus on how we do that. So what happens? Everything else breaks down. I was watching a show recently where they were depriving people of sleep, and the people were literally going crazy, going completely crazy, and people literally die from lack of sleep. So, this is so super important. But our blood sugar regulation starts to fail, our inflammation goes up, our hormones drift off course, our repair never finishes because those workers that are supposed to be working while you're sleeping, well, they can't come out and work because you're too busy being awake. So a sleep is not a passive thing. It's something that is there's actively things going on in your body, because sleeping is not just doing nothing, right? So what happens during sleep is that your body clears metabolic waste from the brain, restores insulin sensitivity, balances your hunger hormones like leptin and ghrelin, and repairs muscle, connective tissues, and organs, and recalibrates the nervous system. So, all that work is scheduled by the suprachiasmatic nucleus. I said I was going to say that word again. Yeah, all that work is scheduled by that SCN that we talked about, right? It's the master clock. So when sleep is shortened or interrupted, the body don't skip those tasks. It just don't do them. It just doesn't get done. So you still waking up tired. And that's why people wake up tired after even getting enough hours of sleep. I know I have this problem because there's these stages that you got to go through, all of these stages for certain percentages of time. And if you're not going through all of those stages for an appropriate amount of time, you're gonna wake up tired. Don't If you slept 10 hours, you're still gonna wake up tired. So it's not, that doesn't matter. So
Because
that's why
you was unconscious.
you was
You wasn't sleep. That's
yes,
it.
yes, that's right. You were not in that restorative sleep, which is what we need to get. So our cravings increase and inflammation becomes chronic. And guess what else happens? We have to go on some kind of medication to deal with the issue, to try to, well, we're not going to heal it, but to mask the symptoms of the issue, we will go on a medication. So it's not because our bodies failed us. It's because we were not giving the body conditions suitable to recover, right? And so, and we didn't get sicker because our bodies changed. Our bodies are adaptable, but we got sicker because Our environment is changed faster than biology can adapt. So we've gone from, this day and night sort of way of working to just being up all day and all night. And it's just not working well for us. So, G, how are we going to take our sleep back?
Ooh, honey, do we have to take the sleep back? Okay. Um, we said that food was the foreplay for sleep. All right. So on our last show, we had some people. As a matter of fact, I think we might have one of the comments here, right? This was said to us. I can't see it because I didn't clicked on it.
It's,
I know
I
they
can
just go ahead.
read it. Hello, ladies. Question: do you both include cheese? What do you both eat daily? And your favorite meats, food, snacks? Thanks. I'm 29 days carnivore, but the cheese is getting me, I think. This is by K Day
Yes,
9438.
and there you go. And she's here tonight. And so that
K Day.
encouraged us to put up some things to show you. So one thing that came up, and so we want to show you these things, but then at the same time, this is going to take consistency. You weren't broken overnight. You came into this world, it was already designed that way, but you came in how the ancestors came in, ready to wake up with the sun and go down and start relaxing at the end of the day. But it's not your fault that you got to pay for a roof over your head, food on the table, gas in the car, and all these other different things to run the rat race. At some point, we have to say, do I want longevity with a smile on my face, or I just want to like, oh Lord, let me just make it to the finish line, Jesus. I might get there in a wheelchair. I might get there not in my right mind, but no, that's
No,
not what
we
you
don't want
want.
that. Mm-mm.
We do not want that. You want to live your best life. If the word says your ladder will be greater, well,
Mm-hmm.
let's make it greater. That's what we want. So Robin put together, wait a minute, let's get to there. Robin put together, let me find this one. So here are some examples of some food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, it's meat.
Mm-hmm.
You got eggs, butter, you have chicken, you can have sausage, burger. Now, Robin and I, I said, is that tartar sauce? She said, no, girl. That is a butter sauce. I was like, okay, look at the seafood. There you go. Baby, look at
Yes.
them
So
eggs down
good.
there with that beef, with that beautiful sear on it. Look how
Mhm.
full. You got eggs with ground beef. You have bacon wrapped. Come on. It is delicious. Pick what you want and eat it. It
Yes.
is just that simple. But you don't see a bunch of sauce. You don't see that. We utilize butter. Now let's talk about the cheese aspect. So, with cheese, there are some people who cannot tolerate cheese.
Me,
Okay.
badly.
Can't have it. Can't have it. It doesn't bother me on the first or second time. But let me just keep going 3, 4 days hollering about cheese. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel the stiffness in my fingers. I'll feel it. Or I might turn around and say, oh, I feel a little stiff this morning. What is that? If I think back, it was cheese. It was some form of a dairy. It can be sour cream. It can be any of those things. Excuse me, I'm drinking
Yes.
water. So now I put together a little something, something, because you guys know that I'm on the ship. This ain't my house. Okay. I am on a ship. And so here is some of my plates. And I removed the sound so YouTube wouldn't mess with. Yep, I eat that. There, steak, fat, fat, egg sausage, fat. I just want you to know steak, egg sausage, eggs, bacon, sausage, fat, steak, bacon and eggs, beef. What if it had a mama, I
Simple,
eat it.
simple,
And they
simple.
turn around, huh?
Simple, simple,
Yes,
simple.
very, very. Can't say it enough. Very, very, very simple. So I hope
Mhm,
that gave you an idea of what. But then we had one more in our comments, Robin. I
mhm.
started another one which came from the same young lady.
Okay.
What was that one? What did that one say?
Bring it up. I'm trying my best, but the meats I'm cooking are becoming so dry and the leftovers are hard to consume. How are you
Girl, that
preparing
sounded
them?
horrible.
You overcooking them. So
Yeah.
K Day, are you used to eating meat like extra well done? You got to cook it a
That's
little less. Cook it a little less. That's your first mistake. If you're eating meat extra well done, it's just going to be unpalatable. And then also I talked last night on Carnivore Sunday School about the fact that we're cooking out a lot of the nutrients when we do that as well. So cook it a little bit less. Watch my channel, get some tips for how to cook because I do a
yes.
lot of cooking videos and how to cook and show you guys what I'm doing as far as cooking is concerned. So, yes, it sounds like you're overcooking them. I mean, I think we both are like medium rare steak.
I
Uh,
wasn't always like that.
was not. I
No,
mean,
because most of us was raised. You better cook that thing well done.
that,
Well
yes,
done.
yes. So
If
we
it
don't
had a
want to
little
cook it.
pink in it, you sent it back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now I'm getting closer and closer to rare, actually. And it's really it's very delicious. It's very moist and
Mm-mm.
juicy.
Okay.
Even
Then
pork
you got
chops,
you.
if you're cooking pork chops or if you're frying chicken, you cook it to temperature, which is like 160 degrees. And
Hmm.
it's not going to be tough and dry. We cooked our food to death. That's how we grew up. I know that's how I grew up. Everything
Hmm.
was like them pork chops was like shoe leather. You trying to break it apart with your teeth. But now I just cook it until it's done, and then it's very tender and very delicious and moist. Make sure
Yes.
you're getting the
So
fatty cuts. Get the fatty cut.
that's it. Um, the way that we're talking about, that is what's going to support sleep. Now, my new routine is only on Monday do I have a screen open at this time.
Mhm.
Everybody know, look, this is their message. We know you ain't on your phone right now because I don't eat after 6 p.m. There's nothing that goes in but water. That's number one. Who is that for? Nobody else. At 7 p.m., no, 7:30, no more cell phone screen time. And by 8 p.m., no television, none whatsoever. And so anything that has, so there's no computer, there's none of that. And y'all will hear me say this, we're the smartest, dumbest people that I know. So we'll, and instead of trying to shut your brain down, you get the blue blockers so you can keep scrolling. And where is sleep? Over there you can't put sleep in the corner. You can't put baby in the corner. That's what you've done because you now can operate off of a few hours of sleep. At least that's what you think,
That's what
right?
you think.
I remember back in the day for myself going to the club and still having to get up and still having to get up. You made it happen, but you might look for a little nap. All right, so um the foods that we showed you, it supports your sleep, it keeps your
Yeah.
blood sugar down, and this with a wind down routine, okay, will actually help repair and finish it off throughout the night.
So what I'm doing now is I am trying to put the phone in the drawer at nighttime because I will wake up and start watching something. I don't know what I'm doing in the middle of the night, watching, listening to something like a bite or whatever it is on the phone. So I'm putting the phone in the drawer, and I'm spending that last bit of time. What is that supposed to mean? Okay. Anyway, and I'm spending that last bit of time reading instead of reading until I get sleepy instead of watching something on my phone. Um, And so that is something that is helping with my sleep hygiene. And going to so we're gonna go ahead and block this person.
Yeah, you can.
And okay, thank you.
That
And
is
so
just
yeah, I say this, and I said this yesterday. I'm getting trolls on my channel now, you guys. So obviously I have arrived at the level where the trolls have found us. So hey, there we go. The
okay.
trolls.
T
Mhm.
Howard, you know I ain't even talking to you. No, that's an inside joke, y'all. Don't. I know her.
So yeah, so Mighty
No
Aries
rare.
Galen is saying I started leaving my phone in the bathroom. Good idea. I
Mhm.
tried to leave it in another room. That didn't really work for me, but sticking it in that drawer and closing the drawer is working for me so far. Not to say
Good.
that I'm perfect, but I'm really trying to work on getting better sleep because I don't want
Good.
to keep saying that my sleep is terrible and not doing anything about it.
That's the key. Yes. All right. Well, let me ask this question. This isn't about variety entertainment, and it's about fueling your body. Okay. So your body can do its job. So if people want to learn this rhythm, Robin, huh? See it live in person and ask real questions. What is it that you are offering for the people?
Well, that's exactly why we created our Meet Up and Eat Up with Carnivorous Grandma and Friends Impact 2026. It's going to be our second annual, and we are very excited because you go ahead and tell them when it is, G. Go ahead, tell them what it is.
Ooh, honey, let me tell you something. It's the party. It's a family reunion. It is going to be a live family reunion. Let me tell you something. You better find your tribe. I say that all the time. Like-minded people who are eating this way. You get to ask questions. Loads of doctors are going to be there. I can't wait. Right now, we just need for you to save the date. I think you
No,
on
you can
this
get
one.
your ticket. Go ahead and
Yes.
scan the
Oh,
QR
yes. Go
code.
ahead.
Get
Save the
your ticket.
date. Get your ticket because when is the early bird tickets? Has
So
that passed
early
already?
bird, yeah, no. You got still time to get these reduced rates, which are the early bird tickets until February 15th. And so if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to go and get your tickets. We're having of course, the teaching, and we're gonna have food, and we're having an after party. So you can sign up if you want to hang out and be part of the after party. You can sign up for that too. It's going to be right here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So come on out. It's going to be amazing.
Can y'all imagine being at the after party with me? I'm being dead serious. I'm just asking because I'm big on movement. So trust, there's gonna be music and movement. Okay, might have a little Frankie Beverly, little Maze. Come on now, huh? A little boots on the ground. Pop, pop, pop. Hey! So we don't want you to miss that. In the meantime and in between time, we thank you guys for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.